As well as currently running his family business of 90 years standing in Gloucestershire, he's also the national board member of the Road Haulage Association. And he's arguing that heavy goods vehicles are not as polluting as other methods of delivery. And in fact, lorry drivers are the secret heroes of COVID. So I asked him why he was decided to champion truckers at this stage.
I wouldn't say I've necessarily decided now. It's always something that I'm been championing in the background. I think it has more effect now in the fact that we've gone through something really quite bizarre and something very unusual in the fact that a lot of vehicles came off the road during the UK lockdown for COVID-19, and therefore we see the massive importance of the truck to the UK and to all of us about having food and whatever stocked on the shelves. And during the lockdown, when most people weren't driving around in their cars or whatever else, an overwhelming majority of trucks continue to roll, needing to, supply us with all the goods and services that we just take for granted, I think. So it's kind of that's the reason why I have a very, very apt example of just how important the truck and also a realistic example of emissions and pollution, which has been obviously the buzz discussions for many of our politicians and county councils and stuff with emission zones in towns and cities and rerouting HGV traffic through different parts of the road network. So we have a very realistic example of just how vital the truck and also the truck driver is to our communities.
Yeah, some would say we're still over-reliant on the truck, though. Perhaps we should be using the rail more.
Yeah, I mean, the rail is great. And, of course, any form of transport, is a good thing, is a positive thing. But the rail network doesn't get to our distribution centres necessarily. It doesn't get to the end user. And if you use the rail network, you still then have to get it from rail to the distribution centres and the places that we then go and pick up those goods and services. And that still involves a truck, and getting it to the rail network still involves a truck. Air freight, shipping, all those things, the link is the truck, whether we like it or not. And it's using those trucks efficiently and effectively, and they move goods as efficiently and effectively as any other mode of transport.
Where is technology with regards to trucks too? We're being encouraged now to drive greener, more fuel efficient and battery operated and electric vehicles when it comes to our home motoring. What about for HGVs? Where's the technology with you for that?
So it's still developing. People that sort of follow this thing will see that Tesla have released some drawings of an electric truck, and so have a number of the other major manufacturers that we're more used to seeing on our roads, like DAF and Scania and Volvo, and a few of the others. So there is electric trucks. They're not quite in the sort of reasonable, practical side of things, because obviously a truck is pulling 44 tons. When a truck is moving our goods to supermarkets, for example, it is carrying 30 tons of goods on its back, and therefore batteries drain more quickly, and our road network isn't really set up for battery cars, let alone trucks. So we've still got some legwork to do on that, so to speak. There is hydrogen options, which obviously is, it's a pretty combustible gas, and working around safety on that, and also LPG. But LPG again is still, it's a non-renewable energy source. It is a good source that offers a practical side of things, but that only works as certain parts of the transport industry and certain parts of the infrastructure. It doesn't help when you're going in and around, let's say, the Strade Valleys. The Cotswolds are a hilly area with less infrastructure to go and get LPG or plug in your vehicle. A truck is a large thing. It needs to park up, and if your Tesla or your other hybrid vehicles take a few hours to charge their batteries before you can use them again, a truck is going to take 3, 4, 5 times longer, and therefore those things aren't moving. So unfortunately, the diesel engine is still here to stay for a while, and the manufacturers are of course working on that, but they're a necessity for what we do at the moment.
And massive for your business, of course, here in Gloucestershire.
Yeah, I mean, we kept rolling. Just as one example through COVID-19 lockdown, we were moving flour to. Everyone talked about the shortage of bread and pasta and those things during the lockdown, and we were moving flour for another local business, Shipton Mill, and that just shows the importance, despite a pandemic, which most of us have never experienced, how important the truck is.
So you had to diversify. Your drivers became part of the backbone then, really?
Yeah, I mean, like all companies in Gloucestershire and obviously much further afield. We were taking calls from the major supermarkets during the panic buying phase, which a lot of people will remember, and that's one of the reasons why I'm speaking up, is look at that panic buying phase. Look at the effect it had in the places where we go and shop, and the shortages, albeit for a short period, existed, and that only got restocked through the use of the HGV.
Moreton Cullimore, the man currently in charge of the Cullimore business, 90 years standing in Gloucestershire, also national board member of the Road Haulage Association.